don't feel like I deserve it. Every day that I wake, every breath that I take, you've given. So right here, right now, while the sun is shining
You think that's a stuffed animal?
I wanna live like there's no tomorrow, like I'm on borrowed time. It's good to be alive.
Greetings. This is Reamer from TNT on the Trail. Thanks for tuning in. Terry and I have spent a lot of time over the last 6 months or so finding and watching DVDs about the Appalachian Trail, and as you see I have a few of them here that I'm going to go over. The first video we ever watched on the Appalachian Trail was by a couple of friends of ours, and these friends we've never met. We've just talked to them on the phone and over the internet one way or another. Dane and Connie Ward, tagless and tag-along, hiked the Appalachian Trail a few years ago, and we kind of partnered up with them in some ways, and they sent us this nice DVD. If you go to Trail Journals and look up Tagless and Tag Along, there'll be information in there. This is a slideshow on their Appalachian thru hike, trail thru hike, and it's fantastic. All done to music, and it was our first exposure to the whole trail from start to finish from a couple about our age. It's really, really good. It's called Walking to Maine, and it's by Tagless and Tag Along. We'll try to get you some information on how to get that if you'd like to find one of those. The first one is called the Appalachian Trail Experience, and many of you have maybe even seen this. It was shown on public television many, many times. It's a short video. It's like 25 minutes long, and it goes over the history of the Appalachian Trail, the story of Benton Mackay and Myron Avery and the first through hikers and how the trail was put together and that sort of thing. Very interesting story about the history of the Appalachian Trail. This next one, you may have known a person called Lynn Weldon. Lynn Weldon has created several very, very nice videos. However, most of them are older videos taken a few years ago. However, that's not anything bad about the video. It's just you'll find out that these people that are hiking in these videos are carrying, you know, framed packs and exterior frame packs and those kinds of things. Nonetheless, this is there's two DVDs in here, and this is How to Hike the Appalachian Trail, and it covers everything from mail drops and food to clothes to wear, gear to buy, money that you should have. Very, very informative. Even though it is older, it's still very informative, and lots of good gold nuggets in here if you're considering hiking the trail. The next one here is actually a winner. I can't read it because I don't have my glasses on, but it was the winner. They tried to make it a motion picture kind of a movie experience, and it's called Southbounders. And obviously, Southbounders are going from Maine to Georgia. And this is about a young lady primarily who's hiking the trail, and her experiences, good and bad, as she reaches her destination. So it's a good movie, and it takes you right in there in some of the places and hostels and whatnot that you'll find along the trail, and some of the things that she learned and issues that she faced. Very interesting movie for sure. Walking with Freedom is a very nice video. It's done by Michael, can't remember his name, Michael David. Anyway, you'll see it on here. I'll put some information on the screen. Walking to Freedom, he goes, all these except for Southbounders are south to north hikes, and he's meets some very interesting people, has some very, very fun experiences, lots of good video, and lots of good music in here as well. So Walking with Freedom, very entertaining and fun DVD to watch. Walking with Sunshine, it's an Appalachian Trail show, and this is more of a taping of Jeff Alt's slideshow. It's basically a movie of him doing the slideshow that he does when he goes out and does presentations to groups and whatnot. But also very, very good. Jeff has some amazing stories. His trail name is Wrongfoot, and I'll let him explain that to you. Very, very good DVD on his experiences walking. the kinds of things that he encountered. Some of them very funny, some of them very sad. And Walking with Sunshine, this is to raise money for the place. It's the Sunshine Home. I believe it's in Ohio, that his brother lives at, that needs 24-hour care, and so the DVDs are raising money to help with that. And very, very good DVD. This is another Lynn Weldon. It's called 5 Million Steps. But of the two, this one for me is really good, because this doesn't necessarily go into the how-tos of hiking and what to use for a backpack and what's the best hiking shoes, not that kind of thing. What this does is this goes into the lives of each different person, like the person who hiked Georgia, the person who hiked Tennessee, the person who hiked Virginia. So they have 14 different people that they show hiking each state. And they're different ages. One guy has multiple sclerosis that's on crutches. And like I say, it's a little older. It's done a few years ago. But it's very, very good because it takes you into their head. They're talking about what they're feeling and the kinds of things that they are struggling with. And anyway, 5 Million Steps. This is truly one of my favorites. Appalachian Impressions. Another very, very good video. This is actually two DVDs in here. One of them gets you from Georgia to Harper's Ferry, and the second one gets you from Harper's Ferry to Maine. And he does a very nice job. I'm drawing a blank on his name at the moment. Flagler. It's a Flagler Films. He basically narrates a lot of it, and there is a narrator, but he does a nice job basically following roughly 20 or 30 people from the beginning to the end, and their experiences. And they talk about hostels, they talk about trail journals, they talk about food, all the way through. It's very interesting, very informative, and if you're looking for the how-tos on hiking the Appalachian Trail, this will get you there as well as entertain you. Appalachian Impressions, one that we've watched many, many times. The next one, 2,000 Miles to Maine. This is so much fun. I can't begin to tell you how many times we've watched this. It's I can't necessarily explain it. There's no how-tos in this video. It's just following a few people from Maine to Georgia. And if there's one knock to this, is that they do a really nice job through Georgia and North Carolina, and then basically they start up again in New York or Connecticut, and there's a couple of clips, and then it gets you into Maine. But it's over an hour long and very entertaining, and it basically follows one guy who makes it from the start to the finish. And I mean, they actually interview him on the approach trail and then interview him again on Katahdin. So really entertaining video and informative as well. And the last one is Trek. Trek is hands down. Terry and I have watched this one more than any other, and some of it is because of the creativity by which they edited this. I mean, they had some really good video stories and all that kind of stuff to work with, but it's basically four guys that start out in Georgia, and it's their story of getting to Maine. And I won't get into the details because I don't want to ruin the story for you, but if you've not seen Trek, it's certainly worth the buy. Check it out. It's a great story of four young men who purpose to make it from Georgia to Maine, and I couldn't speak any more highly of this one. We watch it all the time. The last one, and it's not because it's not our least favorite, but this one is one of the most creative. It's called FlipFlop Flippin. It's done by a guy named Squatch. Excuse me, Scott. Scott Harriet is the creator of FlipFlop Flippin. And if you've not heard of Scott Harriet before, it's too bad, because these are all DVDs from his Pacific Crest Trail trip. It's called Walk and Walked and Still Walking and Even More Walking. And they're all kind of done and edited in the same kind of vein. By the way, these are excellent as well. These aren't Appalachian Trail videos, but for Pacific Crest Trail, these are really, really interesting. If you get into characters at all, Scott's a character and he knows how to find them. FlipFlop Flippin is the same kind of thing, only on the Appalachian Trail. And basically what he does is he goes ahead in the trail and then walks backwards on the trail to meet the most amount of people. And so he's exposing you to every single character that you can find on the trail. And it's very interesting. Scott has done an outstanding job of editing and putting fun things in this video. The last one I want to plug, and this is not an Appalachian Trail or Pacific Crest Trail, this is the CDT or the Continental Divide Trail. And these are also a couple of friends of ours from Colorado, friends through being online and talking via Twitter and things like that. But the Walk You Mentary was put together by a guy named Disco, and Disco and POD, Prince of Darkness, they hiked the Continental Divide Trail, and they're both Triple Crowners. This is also a very fun video to watch. The characters in here, they do a nice job of exposing what it is they go through on the Continental Divide Trail. Nice job, Disco, for sure. Lawton I wish he'd make more, for sure. So, the Walk You Mentary, and I'll put some information on where you might be able to find this kind of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've got comments on these or others that I don't have, again, I sure would appreciate it. So on behalf of Team TNT, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Right here, right now, this is the song.